Anthropology, the holistic study of humanity, explores the diverse aspects of human existence, including culture, social structures, and biological traits. Understanding how these elements interact and influence one another is crucial for comprehending the complexities of human societies. A useful framework for such an analysis is the application of triadic logic, which examines mutually influential factors through interconnected triads. By grouping anthropological elements into triads, we can uncover the dynamic relationships and feedback loops that shape human experience. Triadic logic offers a structured approach to analyze how various anthropological factors coalesce, reinforcing or undermining one another. Each triad consists of three elements that interact in specific patterns, forming relationships that can be positive or negative, direct or indirect. This methodology allows us to identify patterns of coexistence, equilibrium, reinforcement, feedback, causality, reversion, nonlinearity, retrospection, inclusivity, exclusivity, conjoining, bottlenecking, harmonic balance, dissonance, convergence, divergence, combination, division, association, disassociation, integration, and disintegration. By examining these relationships through illustrative examples, we can gain deeper insights into the intricate web of influences that govern human societies. This analytical approach not only enhances our understanding of cultural, social, and biological dynamics, but also provides a comprehensive framework for predicting and addressing changes within communities. In the following analysis, we will explore various anthropological factors and their triadic relationships, demonstrating the power and utility of triadic logic in anthropological research. 1. A coexistence. In a traditional society, cultural practices such as festivals and rituals, A, are closely tied to social structures, B, like kinship and community hierarchies. These social structures, in turn, are reflected and perpetuated through the language, C, used in daily communication and formal ceremonies. For example, in many indigenous cultures, the language includes specific terms for kinship roles and rituals, reinforcing social bonds and cultural practices. When cultural practices thrive, social structures remain robust and language continues to be rich and relevant, demonstrating coexistence. 1. An equilibrium. Consider a community where traditional rituals, A, have ceased to be practiced. This absence leads to a weakening of social cohesion, B, as communal gatherings and shared cultural experiences decline. Consequently, the language, C, that carried these rituals and the associated cultural knowledge starts to disappear. For example, many endangered languages are in communities where cultural practices and social structures have been disrupted, showing equilibrium in their mutual decline. 2. A reinforcement. In a developing nation, the establishment of a robust economic system, A, through industries and trade, creates a foundation for stable political structures, B. These political structures can then allocate resources effectively, leading to improved education systems, C. For instance, South Korea's economic boom in the late 20th century enabled the government to invest in education, significantly enhancing educational outcomes, illustrating reinforcement. 2. N feedback. In a rural village experiencing urban migration, kinship networks, B, disintegrate as family members move away. This decline leads to a reduction in community support, A, for remaining members, who no longer benefit from the mutual aid and shared resources. Consequently, traditional knowledge, C, often passed down through these networks, begins to erode. For example, the movement of younger generations to cities in search of work has led to the loss of agricultural knowledge in many rural areas, showing negative feedback. 3. A causal. In a coastal community, favorable environmental conditions, A, such as abundant fish stocks, lead to the development of fishing as the primary subsistence strategy, B. This strategy influences settlement patterns, C, with communities establishing villages near fishing grounds. For instance, fishing villages in the Philippines have developed where marine resources are plentiful, demonstrating a causal relationship. 3. N reversion. In a country experiencing political turmoil, B, institutions may deteriorate, leading to economic instability. A. This instability can result in reduced funding for education, causing a decline in educational systems. C. For example, the political instability in Venezuela has led to severe economic challenges and a consequent decline in the quality of education, illustrating reversion. 4. A nonlinear. The advent of the internet, A, has drastically changed social behavior. C, influencing how people communicate, work, and socialize. These changes lead to broader cultural adaptations. B, such as shifts in norms around privacy, social interactions, and the pace of life. For instance, the rise of social media has altered social behaviors and led to new cultural phenomena like influencers, demonstrating nonlinear influence. 4. In retrospective. In an area where biodiversity, C, has significantly declined, environmental degradation, A, follows as ecosystems lose their resilience and functionality. This degradation impacts human health, B, through reduced air and water quality and less availability of natural resources. For example, deforestation in the Amazon has led to loss of biodiversity and environmental degradation, affecting the health of indigenous populations, showing retrospective influence. 5. Inclusive migration, A, brings different populations into contact, increasing genetic diversity, B, and fostering cultural exchange, C. For example, the movement of people during the Age of Exploration led to genetic mixing and the exchange of ideas, technologies, and practices between Europe, Africa, and the Americas, illustrating an inclusive relationship. 5. Exclusive. A geographically isolated community, B, might develop homogeneity, A, due to limited external influence. This homogeneity can lead to a lack of innovation, C, as new ideas and practices are not introduced. For instance, isolated tribes in remote regions often maintain traditional ways with little technological advancement, showing an exclusive relationship. 6. Conjoined. In many societies, religion, B, shapes belief systems, A, and ritual practices, C. These belief systems and rituals in turn reinforce religious structures. For example, Hinduism in India influences daily life through beliefs and rituals that reinforce religious teachings and social structures, demonstrating a conjoined triad. 6. Bottlenecked. During an economic collapse, A, both social stability and political structures in C may weaken, leading to broader societal instability, or B. For instance, the Great Depression led to widespread economic hardship and weakened political and social structures in many countries, demonstrating a bottleneck effect. 7. Harmonic. In traditional societies, kinship systems, A, define social roles, B, and inheritance patterns, C. These roles and patterns reinforce kinship structures. For instance, in patrilineal societies, kinship dictates social roles and inheritance, maintaining the overall social structure harmoniously. 7. Dissonant. In a fragmented society, C, both cultural cohesion and social stability, B, decline. This fragmentation leads to further breakdowns in other societal areas. For example, in post-colonial states where imposed borders divided ethnic groups, cultural fragmentation has often led to social instability and conflict, showing a dissonant relationship. 8. A convergent urbanization, A, drives technological development, B, and economic growth, C. These elements then reinforce urbanization. For example, the rapid urbanization of cities like Shenzhen in China has spurred technological advancements and economic growth, illustrating convergence. 8. Divergent. In regions experiencing desertification, B, agricultural productivity, C, declines, leading to economic hardship, A. This hardship further exacerbates environmental degradation. For example, the Sahel region in Africa faces desertification, leading to reduced agricultural output and economic instability, demonstrating a divergent relationship. 9. A combination. A society experiencing cultural innovation, A, but lacking economic development, B, might see this innovation lead to new social dynamics, C. For example, the Harlem Renaissance was a period of cultural innovation in the African American community during economic hardship, leading to significant social change, illustrating combination. 9. Division. In a society with high social stratification, B, and limited mobility, A, cultural divisions, or C, emerge. For example, the rigid caste system in India created deep cultural divisions and limited social mobility, demonstrating division. 10. Association. In a community with established trade networks, B, but lacking cultural exchange, A, new interactions, C, can lead to cultural blending. For example, the Silk Road facilitated not only trade, but also significant cultural exchange, showing association. 10. Disassociation. In a conflict-ridden region, B, where economic activities A persist, social instability, or C, can still arise. For example, in wartime economies, conflict disrupts social cohesion despite ongoing economic activities, showing disassociation. 11. A. Integration. A society integrating new technologies, A, can see economic growth, B, even without initial cultural adaptation, C. Over time, these technologies foster cultural changes, C, that reinforce economic growth. For example, the Industrial Revolution led to economic growth and eventually significant cultural shifts, illustrating integration. 11. In disintegration. In a society experiencing cultural erosion, B, both economic activities, A, and social cohesion, or C, decline. For example, in post-colonial regions where traditional cultures were suppressed, both economic and social structures often weakened, illustrating disintegration. The application of triadic logic to anthropological analysis has yielded profound insights into the interconnectedness of cultural, social, and biological factors that shape human societies. Through examining various triadic relationships, we have illuminated how these elements mutually influence and reinforce one another in complex and dynamic ways. One of the most significant insights is the pervasive interconnectedness within human societies. For instance, cultural practices, social structures, and language are deeply intertwined, each shaping and sustaining the others. This highlights the importance of preserving cultural traditions and languages to maintain social cohesion and identity. Another key insight is the role of feedback loops in societal development and decline. Positive reinforcement loops, such as those between economic systems, political structures, and education systems, demonstrate how advancements in one area can drive progress in others, creating a virtuous cycle of development. Conversely, negative feedback loops, such as the disintegration of kinship networks leading to the erosion of traditional knowledge, reveal how the breakdown of social structures can have cascading detrimental effects. The analysis also underscores the nonlinear and often unpredictable nature of societal change. Technological advancements, for example, can lead to significant cultural adaptations and shifts in social behavior, illustrating how changes in one domain can ripple through and transform entire societies in unexpected ways. Moreover, the study of inclusive and exclusive relationships highlights the balance between diversity and homogeneity. While migration and cultural exchange foster innovation and resilience through inclusivity, isolation and homogeneity can lead to stagnation and vulnerability, emphasizing the value of openness and diversity in societal evolution. Lastly, the exploration of convergent and divergent patterns reveals the dual pathways societies can take. Convergence, as seen in the mutual reinforcement of urbanization, technological development, and economic growth, showcases pathways to holistic development. In contrast, divergence, such as that caused by environmental degradation, underscores the risks of unsustainable practices and the need for integrated approaches to environmental and societal well-being. In conclusion, the triadic analysis provides a powerful framework for understanding the multifaceted and interdependent nature of human societies. By recognizing and analyzing these triadic relationships, anthropologists and policymakers can better appreciate the complexity of human cultures and develop more effective strategies for fostering sustainable and inclusive development.